Welcome in everyone, today is 2025 F1 Helmet Judgment Day. We'll be ranking which ones are good, which ones are bad, and which ones deserve to be right in the bin. I've done the very professional thing of a tier list, so let me talk you through them, starting from the bottom. We have bin. Why did you choose this? This is terrible, this deserves a spot in the bin, and nowhere else. Sorry. Next we have identify yourself. Full capitals. I literally don't know who you are without the on-screen graphics. And for that reason, your helmet is not helmeting. Now, for our middle ground, we have tolerable and proceed. Tolerable is, I don't like it, I don't like looking at it, but I will tolerate it because at least it kind of shows who you are. Proceed is our higher level middle ground. The helmet isn't offensively ugly. I didn't expect much more, but I can't really ask for much more. And therefore, I will not stop you at Helmet Design Customs, and you may proceed. For our top two tiers, we have a little special category of I see you. This is tribute helmets, or where you're like, ooh, I see that you're doing something new here, and I think it's working, I see what you're going for. But perfection is 10 out of 10. Doesn't get better than this. I eat it up every time. I love it. Perfection. It's like he went into a helmet shop and just went, that one will do, I guess. I actually think it's really good. And I hate that I think it's really good. You can't accidentally do that. I don't want to see it. I don't want to acknowledge it. You are in helmet design perfection and you know it. We're going to start with Charles Leclerc because I think unanimously this is a proceed. It's red, it's Ferrari. I didn't really expect much more, but you know what? It's definitely not the worst one on the grid this year. So you get a nice, comfy spot in proceed. Next up, I'm going to go for Lewis Hamilton. Now, they did a poll about this, and apparently lots of people were saying this is the best helmet on the grid this year. I don't agree. I like the new team, old helmet. I think it works. I like it. However, I would not agree that it's the best helmet on the grid this year. I don't think it hits the top level. So I'm going to put it in a I see you. I see you is still top of the charts. So you can't really argue with me on this one. Okay, I feel like I've been Stockholm syndromed by this helmet because for the last 2 years I've been very strictly anti this helmet because I feel like it's doing too much but also nothing at all. However, this year with the less blue, more grey approach, I actually think it's really good and I hate that I think it's really good, so I'm putting it in tolerable. As of filming this, I think yesterday he did post his special helmet for his home race, which I actually think that's a really good helmet. Like, I'll find a photo if I can. But this helmet, if he had this helmet all the time, I would put this genuinely, maybe even perfection. I think this is a really cool helmet, but this doesn't hit the spot the same. Now that I know he can do better, I'm honestly even more mad that I had to put up with this for 2 years. So you get a shame spot in tolerable. Next, Carlos Sainz. I really like this helmet. I actually think I like this helmet more than I liked his Ferrari helmets. I think the blue works really well with the red and yellow Spanish rep that he does. And you will see on the grid this year that there are many blues in many helmets, and not all of them are very good. But this is a good blue with a good yellow and a good red, and someone on his team whacked out that like massive Pantone colour booklet. And I appreciate that because the one we're going to follow this with, not a good blue. But for this first Williams helmet, I'm putting it in a nice proceed. I'd say higher proceed than Leclerc's maybe, but proceed nonetheless. Anyway, for the next one, we have Kimi Antonelli. This blue with this orange, criminal. This is going intolerable because I feel like bin is too harsh, and I do know who he is, but I only know who he is because the blue and the orange really annoy me. I just think they chose a nice green, they chose a nice orange, and then they really chose the worst blue possible, and I'm pretty sure it like fades out to more of a shimmery pale blue, which awful. I hate a fade in a helmet. Like, it needs to be a block colour. That's a personal opinion. I don't know if that's like a unanimous thing, but like if you're doing like an ombre, instant hatred from me. Anyway, Lawson, right? This helmet is, I want to put it in bin, but it's going in identify yourself. and I will tell you why. Pink and white, to me, screams Alpine. And if you've seen Isaac Hadjar's helmet, I feel like that one feels more Red Bull main team than Lawson's, because Lawson's feels VCARB. I mean that as an insult. But whoever approved the pink with the Red Bull blue, red and yellow, criminal, just like whoever approved the blue for Kimi Antonelli. So this would go in the bin, because I do think this is worse than Kimi's. However, it's going in Identify Yourself for the sheer reason of I will not be able to tell who this is while watching the race this year, and identify yourself, please. Thank you very much. Next, do you know what? Let me get one out of the way. Stroll in the bin. Sorry. This helmet, I swear, is literally the exact same as his helmet last year. If it's not, I would say I'm sorry, but I still feel like it's terrible. It's like he went into a helmet shop and just went, that one will do, I guess. I don't want to see it. I don't want to acknowledge it. I think he should change it. I feel like everyone and their mum is telling him to change it, and he just will not. Try again. Try harder. Try at least a little bit, please. Because I can't even say try harder, because you're not trying at all. So therefore, it's going in the bin. Having said that, one person who I do think tries and nails it every single time, Mr. Lando Norris. This is going in perfection. If you disagree with me, you are wrong, because he always has a vision. He always gets the vibes. It reflects his personal branding. It isn't directly connected to the team that he's in, which I think is a great way to do a helmet. You'll see that with Bortoleto, Alonso's, and even like Tsunoda's. I like the helmets that are not directly connected. I think it's more unique, and he really does unique very well. And he really understands, if it ain't broke, why the fuck are you trying to fix it? And I think that's a beautiful message, which a lot of people on the grid this year could learn a thing or two about. So, Mr. Norris, you are in helmet design perfection, and you know it. Speaking of Bortoleto, let's do his next. I'm going to couple his with Alonso's and put them both in I See You. They both feel very retro. I really like the colours on Alonso's. I've liked them for a long time. I think he does the kind of, I don't know what you'd call this. It wouldn't be like a pale colour. I don't know. If you know what this kind of colouring is called, let me know. But I love the retro feel of it. I'm also pretty sure that Bortoleto's is a tribute helmet to Senna, because if my eyes are working correctly, I think that's literally the exact same shade of yellow and the exact same shade of green. So if it's not, happy accidents, I suppose, but I'm pretty sure it must be, because you can't accidentally do that. So I like it because it's tribute helmet. I like this one because it's retro. They're both going in I See You. They both have a vision. They both have the vibes. I See You. Two that aren't working. I did say Isaac Hadjar's is more Red Bull than Lawson's, like Red Bull main team. Do you know what also is more Red Bull than Haas? Ollie Behrman's. Why are these the same helmet? Look at these two helmets. They are the same. Tell me they're not the same. They are the same. They literally have the same fluorescent green, or yellow, whichever way you want to look at it, the same blue, and I don't know how. I don't know if they have the same design team, if someone got mixed up somewhere. They're literally the same. They are literally the same helmet. And I know full well I'm going to have to wait for the on-screen graphics while watching this year, because I will not be able to tell whose is whose. Just identify yourself, please. George Russell's is a Proceed. It's very similar to Leclerc in the way that it's one colour, it shows kind of what the team he's in is. It's not amazing, it's not doing anything amazing, but it's good enough. It's like a, yeah, whatever, Proceed. Do you know what also is a, yeah, whatever, Proceed? Max Verstappen. I am whelmed. It's fine. Carry on. Do you know what's a better comparison? Leclerc's and Verstappen's. They're both very team heavy, whereas I said before, I think the best helmets are ones that are individual to the person rather than the team. These two are very like ride or die for their teams, and I think their helmets reflect that. I don't want to look at it for too long, but I'm not offended by it, so Proceed. Do you know who also gets a Proceed? Ocon. I hated his helmet last year, but this one I really like. Unlike a lot of the grid, it doesn't have any oranges or blues. It's just a very unique helmet in comparison to the rest of the grid this year. And I really like it. I think it does a lot for how simple it is. Looking at his last year's helmet, it's much less ugly. I just like it. I think it's really good. I think he's done a really good job this year. And I like that it does show very well that he's in a new team and he's kind of in a new era. Similarly, Jack Doohan's. I really like this helmet. For a first F1 helmet, I think this is a really good helmet. I'm gonna put it in ICU actually. I changed my mind. It's going in ICU. I know I said this was for tribute helmets and vibes, but this one I think is really good. It's got a good blue and it's got a good orange, and I think it's kind of interesting in the design as well. Like it's simple like Ocon's and like Leclerc's and Russell's, but it's got a design within it like Lando's. I genuinely think for a first F1 helmet, this is a great design. So I'm putting it in ICU. Right, we have 4 left. Albon, Hulkenberg, Gasly and Tsunoda. 2 out of the 4 of these designs I absolutely hate. One of them I think is either tolerable or proceed, but I can't decide. And then one of them I think is genuinely so good and is 100% perfection. I feel like you can easily guess which one's which. Let's start with Pierre Gasly. Bin. Let me explain. Okay, I understand the want to do something fun and new and unique. However, I have a personal vendetta against camo, and I think anything camo, especially coloured camouflage, so like pink camouflage or blue camouflage, or just any camouflage that doesn't serve its purpose as camouflage. If you're not in the army, bin off camouflage. Like, is it a biased opinion? Yes, but it's a big fat in the bin for me. And do you know what's also in a bin? Hulkenberg's. I don't know if this is like an unpopular opinion, but I hate Hulkenberg's helmet. I can't remember what his last year's one was, but if it was anything similar to this, I hate that one as well. I feel like this helmet screams, I made this on Canva on a 6-hour flight in 30 minutes because I slept for the other 5.5 hours, and I hate it. What are the stars? What are the green stripes? I don't even know what it is about it, I just hate so much. I think it's the stars. I think I hate the stars because I don't like the stars on Lewis's helmet either. I just feel like stars on helmets are a bit of a weird choice. Personal vendetta against stars. Stars and camouflage. No go. So, sorry. It's an in the bin from me. We have 2 left. We have Tsunoda's, which, unless you're absolutely blind, this is perfection. The white helmet is a contrast to every other helmet on this grid this year, except for Lawson's, but that doesn't count because that one's ugly. I love the white helmet. I love the like orange leaves. I think the reason why I like this so much is because it reminds me of Daniel Ricciardo's maple syrup helmet, which to this day, I genuinely think that's one of the best helmets I've ever seen. It's so good. It was so good. No pun intended, I would eat it up every single time. And I think that's why I like Tsunoda's so much. Either way, it's definitely imperfection. Unlike the stars, it's got a very subtle illustrative vibe. I think they're maple leaves. I could be wrong, but I really like it. I think it's really good. 10 out of 10 from me. Finally, we have Alex Albon. This one I can't decide on. Part of me hates it, but part of me is like, this is exactly like Piastri's, where I'm Stockholm syndromed into liking it because I've had to look at it so much. So I think I'm gonna put it in tolerable. If you think it's a proceed, I might allow that opinion, but anything higher than that, you're wrong. I think it's unique enough that it identifies him. So it's either a tolerable or a proceed, and I think a proceed is too generous. It's a tolerable from me. Like, I don't like it, but it's all right, I suppose. So the final judgment is in. We have Lando Norris and Yuki Tsunoda in perfection. We have Lewis Hamilton, Gabriel Bortoleto, Fernando Alonso and Jack Doohan in ICU. We have Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, George Russell, Carlos Sainz and Esteban Ocon in proceed. And we have Oscar Piastri, Kimi Antonelli and Alex Albon in tolerable. Now, we have 6 people in our sack 'em off section. We have, oh my god, I almost forgot Liam Lawson's name. We have Liam Lawson, Isaac Hadjar and Ollie Behrman in Identify Yourself. You have potential, but I literally don't know who you are, and for that reason, I cannot rank you any higher than this. And then in the bin, we have Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly and Nico Hulkenberg. I'm sorry. Do better. You've been on the grid long enough. Let's do something better than this, please. If we've got a rookie in ICU, we can have 3 long-time grid sitters higher than bin. Thank you very much. That is our ranking for today. If you disagree, feel free to let me know. I can't say I'll respect your opinion, but I cannot stop you from sharing it. So that is our grid this year. I do think the worst one this year is going to be Ollie Behrman and Isaac Hadjar because they are so similar that I genuinely think that they're going to get confused, which is unfortunate. You definitely don't want that your first year on the grid, but hey ho. I think we should start a petition for Oscar Piastri to change his normal helmet to his Australian special helmet because it's so much better. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I think that's just fact. So thank you so much for watching. This is a bit of a silly one. I hope you enjoyed. See ya!